It's been 75 years since the iconic film Gone with the Wind was released. So today we're here at the Orange County Regional History Center to check out Gone with the Wind Reel to Reel, the 75th anniversary exhibit. Let's take a look.
Well, hi, Michelle.
Oh, hey, James.
Thanks for coming to the exhibit.
Yeah, so you actually own this collection.
Guilty as charged. Guilty as charged.
How did you come about these pieces? And I guess this is the first one?
You're absolutely correct. I found this on the floor at Western Costume when I was at Universal. We were doing some research for a film, and I went to pick it up, and a docent said, well, don't bother with that. We're going to be throwing it out. So I offered to buy it, and they sold it to me for $20. And after that, I realized I'd been worn and gone with the wind. Go figure, huh?
So were you a fan of the film when you got started collecting?
Well, I'd seen it when I was about 7 years old at the Blue Mouse Theater in Portland, Oregon, but I didn't know that there was such a thing as an intermission. So when the lights came up, I went home. And my mother sent me back the next day with 50 cents and said, go
Saw
wait
the other half.
till it says the end, and that's what I did, and I've been a fan ever since.
Oh, wow. So what are some of the pieces that people can see when they come to this exhibit?
Well, my gosh, they can see costumes worn by Vivian Leigh and Clark Gable and Olivia de Havilland and Leslie Howard. Bonnie Blue Butler, we have her riding habit, you know, where she fell off the horse. So we have something for everyone, really. Scripts, props, Hattie McDaniel's presentation script, costume sketches, and tons of things. Come on, I'll show you a little bit more over here.
Yeah. So you have over 300,000 pieces from Gone with the Wind.
Guilty as charged.
How did you decide what ones to display and share with the world?
Well, I have a few favorites. For one is Hattie McDaniel's presentation script. You know, at the end of the filming, Selznick would have all the scripts bound in red calf and gold gilt lettering, and Hattie McDaniel's was my favorite because, you know, she was the first African American to win an Academy Award. And there's an interesting story about the script. You'll see sort of a glass ring on the script. And every night after work, she would come home and she'd have a big glass of Jack Daniels. And she'd set it on the script that she would always have out displayed.
My kind of lady.
She was a wonderful lady. And we see that, the glass indentation.
Very cool. So what do we have over here?
Well, here we have Rhett Butler's suit that he wore when he kicked Scarlett's boudoir wall down, you know. And this was tailored for him by his personal tailor, Eddie Schmidt.
Oh, wow. So you were saying that the costume, this actually looks different than some of the other ones, the way it was constructed.
Yes, because Selznick didn't like the way that Gable's clothes were being created for him by Western Costumes, so quite brilliantly they went to tailor Clark Gable's personal tailor, and that's why all the clothing looks so good.
Wow. Now these look amazing.
Isn't that great? Here we have Bonnie Blue's riding habit that she wears when she takes the final fall. Now, Cammie King, who played Bonnie Blue Butler, was only 7 years old, so they didn't tell her, you know, you're making a movie and you die. So what they did is they hired a little person to wear her costume, and Cammie was visiting the set that day and wandering around. She came running back to her mother saying, Mommy, Mommy, you know, there's a little girl over there wearing my dress, and she's smoking a cigar. That's funny. This was one of Walter Plunkett's favorite costumes. You know, Walter Plunkett, as you know, was the designer of over 1,500 costumes for the film. And it was worn by Una Munson. And when we found it, it was just in deplorable condition. It took 3 years to restore.
Wow.
She did a beautiful job.
And this shirt looks familiar to me.
Yes, that's the famous lilac bodice. Now, there were 11 versions of that made for the film because it had to deteriorate during the filming. And this we discovered in London, England. And it was so funny because the 11th version that was all in shreds sold for $96,000.
Wow. Well, James, thank you so much for taking us on this tour.
Well, I can't thank you enough for stopping by. Now, if I can answer any other questions, you just look for me in the exhibit, okay?
All right, I'm going to look around. Thank you so much.
Have fun.
Did you know that there are fun events tied with this exhibit? On October 15th, Windy Wednesday Date Night, movie screening of The Making of a Legend, Gone with the Wind, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. On November 2nd, casting of Scarlett O'Hara Film Brunch from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And on November 9th, in conjunction with the Enzian, At the Movies, Gone with the Wind, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. What an amazing collection of film history here at the Orange County Regional History Center. Come on down and check out Gone with the Wind Reel to Reel on display until the end of November.